Hey there folks, it's Caffeinated Dad, and I got a chance to play Null Point Protocol, which is a roguelike co-op that has you fighting incredibly difficult boss fights through randomized upgrades. This should be fun. Now, I get a few of these games throughout the year offered to me, but I jumped on this one because it said that it was highly inspired by top tier Final Fantasy XIV rating. So I said, sure, let's go ahead and check it out. I have a little bit of experience in that. So I started a new game, balanced it is, because I don't trust myself to make incredibly difficult decisions right out the gate. We get a scene of a dog man drinking coffee, and immediately this game gets 5 stars. Barely 10 minutes in, and it's already perfect. Well, the dog man is scared by the big black void eating the planet, and it's now gone. Palpatine would be proud. The dogs give it a massive shocked face, and now we are attacking a giant eyeball in the sky, which is probably fine, and now the big bad void eye crashes onto a planet, and it's time for us to be tagged in. No experience, no tutorial, fighting the biggest bad boss in the universe. Oh hey, it is a tutorial. That's convenient. Time to skip it all and figure out all this on the fly. Regardless of my strong need to skip everything, they force me to do all of the basic mechanics before they let the entire bag of skills from this giant eyeball out. And as soon as the boss fight starts, I get groped instantly. Geez, at least buy me a drink. Well, due to my untimely failure, all the dogs are instantly turned to stone. Get good, scrub. You were responsible for the death of 2 million doggos. Oh hey, what's this? A notification on my phone? PETA is rapidly approaching your location. We get some more cutscenes, and now we are off exploring the stars with our new race of animals. This time I'm feeling foxy. We are at this huge hangout space station. There's an angry jellyfish yelling at us. Let's call him Jeffrey. Oh wait, his name is Jeffrey. Well, that's convenient. He tells us that we disturbed his sleep, and I said, my bad, I'll promptly leave. Okay. I checked out the abilities for about like 5 seconds, and they all seem pretty basic to me. Both passive, active, no problem. I don't know what I was expecting. Let's go fight the end of the world. Well, my foxy self, named Shiv Lightcaller, starts our run, and off we go blasting. The main exploration point of this game is to go from planet to planet, or like solar system to solar system, landing on planets and giving us morally gray decisions to make. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Starting off, the first one I get is a slave cloning facility, so let's do the most straightforward choice. We're blowing this space station up immediately. And that seems like all we can do in this section. Once you make a choice, every other star explodes. So off we go whizzing again. Well, now we land on a planet that has a bunch of events for us. First one, here's some savages that are back in the Stone Age. And the first option I got was to exploit them for their resources. How morally gray am I going to be today? I offer to help them, and they treat me like their savior and somehow give me galactic currency. How can I make money off of them if they are still living in the Stone Age? The next event has us helping a distress signal, which is fake, and there are a bunch of booty pirates that want to steal from me. So anyways, I start blasting, and I get hurt in the process, but I make some money off of them. This is turning out to be profitable. Also, on the same Stone Age planet is a vendor with high tier items, so I grab the boots and I'm on to my next event. And there's a cultist camp on the same planet as the Stone Age people, and their high tier vendor. And the option is to destroy it quickly or slowly. I like the clear option here, and it is simply to just destroy them immediately. While I land on a planet that clearly has a boss, the skull is definitely where we need to be. Another vendor here offering us items, too bad I'm broke as hell. After another cult choice or two, I'm finally limping to the boss at the end. There's a massive stage with a whole bunch of wires. What kind of boss could this be? Oh shit, it's fake news. Well, the boss comes out and everything immediately starts hurting. Not only is there large AoEs for you to avoid, but there's a bunch of ads that spawn immediately. And my biggest problem is not being able to attack anything at all. Damn the media giants for giving me false information. I do have to point this out. If you stand on the hypnosis TV, it spins you around and it kind of confuses you, which that's media in general nowadays. Well, despite the boss only having these abilities, I find out very quickly that as long as I stay out of the bad, I can keep fighting and passively heal. So I'm feeling pretty confident about this one. And now in comes a crapload of these damaging pillars and huge shockwaves. Good thing I know exactly what to do, and that is not to be standing in the bad, right? Well, shit. This isn't going 100% my way because the ads spawn and the floor is basically on fire and the entire arena is covered in death. What role am I playing here, the victim? I get the media giant to half HP and I think he's run off, but he comes back with several more eyes and now teeth and knock down the platform into half, which I didn't notice and I die immediately. Sorry, foxes, looks like you won't be making it through this Darwin hell. Now, eons later, I came back as a cat. The miracle of life. Now that I know what to expect, the cat is going to be perfect for my next mission. The first planet we get to has all the things: rest, events, vendor, and some kind of weird boss. Let's go enter into this definitely not a human tongue. And now we are fighting an ex-girlfriend. I mean the flesh amalgam, which is a giant two-legged flesh beast that now wants me to go into its hole. Definitely not the weirdest thing I've had to say today. Well, the mechanics are actually pretty fun. He is smashing huge areas on the ground, dealing damage, leaving piles of huge goop all around the arena. And man, holy crap, they really got that ex-girlfriend vibes here, don't they? There she is in all of her beauty. Well, phase 2 comes out and she spits out a butterfly from her main hole. And no, that it's not an exaggeration. The mechanics don't get that much more difficult, except for the butterfly pooping out purple juice all over the place. And the amalgam basically does the same mechanics as he did before in the first phase. So I just focus on DPS and dealing damage to the butterfly, which also apparently deals damage to the boss. Time to finish this baby off with one big hammer swing, and down goes the flesh amalgam and all of my past relationship choices. Hodge Stargazer is now the MVP because he lived, and the kitty cats lived through another extinction level event. Guess they really do have 9 lives. Now I'm clearing my way through another planet and I get the same events as I got last time. It doesn't seem like there's a random completion of the event, but now I get the best item available, critical scope. 40% increased critical strike chance, baby. Now we're on to the next boss. We are on a frosty planet with a giant dead faces and heads below the ice, and there's some spider webs in front of us too. And of course, it's a giant ice spider with a face. I hate this. I hate this boss. I hate this whole area, but the giant big spider face throws Christmas balls on the floor and they explode in the cheeriest fashion. But between the webs and the frost damage, this is particle hell. Boy, I wish I could actually see what the hell is going on. Thanks to my critical scope, I'm popping off damage of like 200 hits. Oh, we're cooking with this. And I just realized, and it took me half the fight to realize that I could just sit on the edge of the arena and use my trusty pocket heal. Like, okay, this goes on for a little bit and the spider gets angry, so more ice spikes shoot out of its face and more spider webs are coming. Oh, and this gets interesting. Spider legs are exploding from the side and they're dragging across the arena. Well, I didn't really want to pick on the giant angriest spider on this planet, but unfortunately Hodge Stargazer gets clawed for the last time. That's the end of the story, folks. Time to go back to species creation menu. Oh boy, this looks fishy. Now that I've gotten a better taste of how to deal with 2 of the void bosses in the flow of combat, it's time for our little Magikarp to become a beautiful Gyarados that he was always meant to be. The first boss I get is the Judge, which is the equivalent of a biblically accurate angel, complete with all the light beams, eye rolling you would expect. But nothing prepared me for phase 2. Holy crap, stop, listen to this absolute banger of a music playing in the background. I would fight this boss again just to hear the guitar riff. Holy hot damn. Well, he starts getting a bunch of mechanics on top of the ones that he already had, and he's moving around with spinning lasers, and talk about really cool. My fishy boy looks like he's about to be put onto the sushi roll, but luckily with a well-timed jump, I'm able to get out of danger, and the fight continues. Tell me more, Seeing Eyeball. I need to know. Well, never mind, my fish got fried. Boss fights are difficult, and this game doesn't have any pork on it. So I wanted to try this out in the co-op mode to see if it gets any better, so I called all the CAF mods to join in, except for Phoenix, and the game did not agree with her computer. Well, now I get to take my friends to the edge of oblivion and fight the incoming death. What a great friend I am. Now we have multiple players and multiple choices for any of the event. Surely all of us will be choosing the most noblest and righteous good choices that we can make instead of all the morally gray ones. Yep, everyone went with the most aggressive and deadly choices. The first boss we fight, the Judge. Hey, we're back with the eyeballs. It's like his eyes are looking into my soul. Well, this boss doesn't fight fair, as Gala didn't even make it into the loading screen, so now it's a 2v1. I don't like those odds. Well, after Witchy and I dance around for 7 minutes to kill this boss, while Gala collects dust. Thank you, Gala. Well, we reset this run because Gala can't play due to some load-in error, and we all come back as bunnies, which is fitting because it was just Easter. Now Gala can play, so let's see how much more difficult it can be with 3 people, except my bunny looks like Peppy from Star Fox. In this run, we blast through all the morally gray choices by choosing, of course, the most aggressive ones, which seems to get us a lot of money and a lot of experience, which is pretty cool. Now we fight the most beautiful boss inside a massive dead creature. Oh look, it's a giant plant with a giant eye. In a dress. The mechanics for this boss is actually amazing, honestly. Like, Gala was the only one who actually did the mechanics, Witchy and I just kind of ran away like any good DPS. We were supposed to kill an ad that was flooding the entire arena with like a deadly poison, but we just didn't. Well, Gala finally pulls their weight and gets the kill on the ad, and now we are having fun as a group. And then phase 2 gets even wilder. The music shifts and now there's a massive chasing AoEs, totally not the victim here. Somehow we beat the boss only with a few scrapes of poison ivy. We take down a couple of more bosses, but it makes it a lot easier to have friends who can pick you up when you're down, or be the reason that they go down for the first place. And we make it to the Void Genesis, the final big bad of our run. Not only does this boss have a massive health bar, but one of the mechanics glitched, and the Void Hand is basically pulling us all into the center and it can't be killed, and it's dealing unlimited damage. Well, at least we knew that our friends were with us all the way until the end, and that's the end of our Funny Bunny run. Good God. Godspeed, folks, it was fun. Aside from it being a bit cheap at the end and the mechanics not working, the game is good fun. I didn't get to save any of our furry friends at all. Sorry, folks, that's Darwinism for you. Shouldn't have been monkeying around.